Welcome to my top 10 most anticipated comics for August 2nd, 2023. Guys, I'm Mike Spider Slayer. Welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. It's never too early to start that pull list for next week, and hopefully this list will help you make decisions on what comic books to buy. And before we dive into it, guys, I just gotta give a quick shout out to Whatnot. If you haven't used Whatnot yet, guys, what are you waiting for? I have a link in my description box below. You click on that link, you get to download the app. It's absolutely for free, no strings attached. And once you make your first purchase on Whatnot, it can be anything, not just comic books, you will save yourself $15. That's all you gotta do. Just create your profile and all that kinds of stuff. Go buy something, man. It's pretty awesome. It's not bad. And yeah, Whatnot. That's all I gotta say about that. So let's get started here, guys. We have coming in on the hot seat, Christopher Chaos. This is issue 2. This is done by James Tynion IV. I wasn't a huge fan of this first issue. I'm going to be honest with you. This is probably the weakest thing that I have read from him, in my personal opinion. Again, this is all my opinion when it comes to these videos. And if you like something, that's totally cool, man. This is just my stuff, right? And I just love hearing what you guys have to say. But when it comes to this book, I couldn't really get attached to Christopher. And he has this crush on this guy. And now we're coming across this vampire boy thing. There was some dude that I guess his crush turned into a werewolf. So if this is going to be like a horror book where werewolves and vampires fight, I don't know, man. I don't know what to really expect from this book yet. That's why I'm giving it another issue. It's 32 pages, and this one is $5. Here's the book that's on the rise, and this goes to Amazing Spider-Man, but it's going to be the annual. This is the book that is coming off of Hallows Eve series, right? Where we've had Hallows Eve, who has been doing nothing but trying to get Ben Reilly out of jail. And this is in Limbo's jail, where we've gotten to see Madeline Pryor put him in here. And obviously, Ben Reilly is going to want to get revenge, but we're going to see how Hallows Eve is going to get him out and what's going to happen going forward. I think this is going to be a fun story. I don't think this is going to be a worthless annual, and I love how we continue to learn more about Hallows Eve and how hopefully she's not going to be a character forgotten after Nick Spencer's run. I hope she lasts a long time. I think she's pretty awesome. This is 36 pages, and this is $5. Guys, if you love what you see, and if you want to support the channel and you love me helping you make decisions on what comic books to buy, consider hitting that subscribe button. Moving on to number 10, we have X-Men issue 25, The Fall. So we get Kitty Pryde back. That's basically what's going on in this issue. She's been known as Kitty, Sprite, Ariel, Red Queen, Captain Kate, and now the X-Men team finds their way through the darkest hours. Shadow Cat emerges. So here we go. She's coming back as Shadow Cat with this whole mutant fall situation. I have not been a fan of the X-Men in quite some time. I read this title on and off again. Obviously, something big is about to happen with this fall of mutant stuff. We'll see. 52 pages, $6. Coming in at number 9. We have Death of Venomverse. This is issue 1. Now, I'm hesitant about this book, but at the same time, the person writing this book gives me hope. Colin Bunn is writing this. And if there's a person that can write horror or gross books, gruesome books, it's going to be that guy. And obviously, I don't know, we're going to see the end of the Venomverse. Are all of the symbiotes going to die? I mean, not a very original story, but again, if Colin Bunn can make his spin on it to make it somewhat different from like the Edge of Spider-Verse or the End of Spider-Verse, then that's what I want to see. This is 36 pages, and this one is $5. Moving on to number 8, we have Night Terror's Batman. This is issue 2. You know, out of all the Night Terror books, I'm not really attached to really any of them, but the Batman one is pretty cool, I guess, as we get to see Batman kind of plan for all contingencies against of what's going on in this nightmare realm. And I think at the end of the last issue, like, you thought he was winning and became this like other nightmare Batman, and then to stop insomnia. And then I think the next thing we found out was like he became Joe Chill and he's going to shoot his own parents. So I don't know, that's kind of weird, but it seems kind of interesting. We'll see what happens. 40 pages, $5. Coming in at number 7. You know, I don't know about this. Even though it's at number 7, we have Star Wars Dark Droids. This is issue 1. So I haven't read a Star Wars book really in a long time, except like a Darth Vader book and these Rebel books or whatever it was. And now we have another event on our hands, and it's called Dark Droids. I like the droids in Star Wars, and I like the concept that maybe they could be going evil. But I think the more I look into this, I think this is crossing over to other books. And it's like, ah, man, do I really want a crossover with all the other Star Wars books? Because I don't normally read them. So that's a lot of extra money to try something out for a few issues to see if it's going to work for me. So I don't know, man. I really am on the fence about this one as well. We'll see what happens. 36 pages, and this one is $6. I felt like this was a kind of a light week when it came to new comics coming out that I was really excited about. Coming in at number 6, this is Adventures of Superman, John Kent, issue 6. We're going to get Super Son versus Super Son. It's Batman versus Superman, Super Son versus Super Son Injustice. Superman is ruling with a fist of steel. Can John Kent free an entire world, and what could he lose if he tries? This has been pretty cool. Like, I like seeing Injustice Superman rule the world, and John figuring out that this version of his dad is kind of bad. And I love how, in order for Batman and all his other people that work with him take like these super pills to kind of give him super strength, and we got to see Justice Superman invade them and do battle against them and things. I feel like this is the best Tom Taylor Superboy or John Kent that we've seen. So I'm going to finish this all the way through. Is this the last issue? I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it is. Well, I guess I'll find out when I'm done reading it. Coming in at number 5, we have The Sacrifices. This is issue 1, series premiere. This is a weird book. It's like people that give up their children in order to survive in this world. And at first I'm like, man, I don't know if I want to read this. It sounds a little depressing. But guess who writes this? Rick Remender. And you know Rick Remender can come up with some great stories. So being that he's the writer of this, I'm on this completely. He wrote Deadly Class, which a lot of people were, excited about. He did write Uncanny X-Force. So there's a lot of stuff that he's done. So again, I'm on board. This is $4. Coming in at number 4, we have What If Dark Venom. So what if Ben Grimm became Venom? I don't know. What would he do? I guess he'd be pretty strong, right? He's a rock guy. So it's like if he punched someone in the face, someone's going to be severely injured. And I can see him causing some serious damage here. So I'm excited to see what they would do with Ben Grimm. I think this is something that we haven't seen when it comes to this character. We've seen a lot of other characters becoming a symbiote. So we'll see. I like What If books. They're 36. This one's 36 pages and it's $5. Top 3, Warlock Rebirth, issue 5. So we've been seeing Warlock and Warlock Eve or Eve Warlock do battle against each other, and Eve Warlock was completely controlling this thing, trying to replace the original Warlock. And you know, even though it's been a lot of fighting, a lot of battling, and not really in-depth storytelling, it's fun. It's like a comic I read when I was a kid. Very simplistic story. I love the colors. And this is the conclusion to this story. So what happens to Eve, right? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. 32 pages, $4. Number 2, we have Noctara, issue 16. This is the end of a story arc already. Holy cow, this is titled No Breaks, Part 5. Where does the time go by, right? I feel like this story just got back on track, and now we're at the end of another story arc, and is it going to take another break? So we'll see what happens, but we've gotten to see our heroes wind up making their way to this place that provides light, and now the whole place is blown up, and I I don't even know what the hell is going to happen at this point, though. But it's been a fun and wild ride overall. I love the character depth in here. We learned about Val's brother a lot in this particular story arc, about his original mother and how she just gave him up for adoption, and then he met up with her again, and then he dumped her again, him again. I mean, it's just a sad story in general, but seeing them try to return light to a very dark world is a very interesting tale, and I think Scott Snyder does a wonderful job here. This is a $4 comic. All right, guys, so remember, after number 1, we're not done, as we have those noteworthy comics to talk about. Remember, these are my top 10 most anticipated. They may not be yours, so we're going to cover some of the books that will be coming out with Marvel, DC, and Independence. So my number 1 most anticipated comic is Strange Academy Miles Morales, issue 1 of 3. So I love how the Strange Academy is going to go with Miles Morales and to do an adventure together. Unfortunately, though, this is not going to be done by, I think, Roberto Ramos or Scotty Young. This is a tale in itself. It's 1 of 3, and I'm just happy these characters are around. That's where, you know, I can say that for these characters to get dumped would be shameful, because I think Scotty Young did a beautiful thing and Roberto Ramos came up with a beautiful thing. So hopefully Marvel doesn't screw them up. But looking forward to it. 36 pages, $5. Here we go. Noteworthy comics, kicking it off with Marvel. We have Moon Knight. This is issue 26. Next, we have Fantastic Four, issue 10. Scarlet Witch, issue 7, as I think we're getting a new introduction to a character in this issue. So if you're a spec person, you might want to check this one out. We have Doctor Strange, issue 6. Astonishing Iceman, this is issue 1. Magneto, issue 1. Moving on to DC Comics, we have JSA, issue 5. Night Terror's Poison Ivy, issue 2. Night Terror's The Joker, issue 2. Night Terror's Ravager, issue 2. Dawn of DC Steelworks, this is issue 3. We have Peacemaker Tries Hard, this is issue 4. And then we have City Boy, issue 3. And for the kids, we have Scooby-Doo Where Are You, issue 123. Moving on to the indies, we have from Image, Spawn, issue 344. We have The Last Ronin, Lost Years, issue 5. From Boom, we have Grimm, issue 12. Image, we have The Walking Dead Deluxe, issue 68. From Dynamite, we have Fire and Ice, issue 1. And once again, for the kids, IDW, we have Sonic the Hedgehog. This is issue 63. So there you have it, guys. There are my top 10 and top 10 most anticipated and noteworthy comic books coming out for August 2nd, 2023. And as always, guys, if you love the content, I'll leave you more content right here. In fact, this is my top 10 comic book covers of the week, where you can vote on your favorite comic book cover. It's an awesome series. I do it all year. Hopefully you get to check it out. And as always, guys, keep buying, keep collecting, but more importantly, always read your comics.